What are the ideal body measurements for a woman? What are the ideal body measurements for women? This is a question that has been asked for centuries, and there is no easy answer. Every woman is different, and what may be the ideal measurement for one woman may not be ideal for another. That being said, there are some general guidelines that can help you determine your ideal body measurements. This video will discuss women's body measurements and outline the most common, ideal, sizes. Ankle size. This is the first measurement taken into consideration when talking about ideal ones. Calculating the ankle circumference is done by measuring the slimmest part of the ankle. The average ankle size for women is around 11.42 centimeters. This number, however, varies from person to person, and ankle sizes can range anywhere from 11 centimeters to 12 centimeters. Just like with other measurements, there are outliers who have ankles that are either much larger or much smaller than the average ankle size. While ankle size is not the be-all and end-all when it comes to finding the ideal body measurements for a woman, it is definitely something that is taken into consideration. After all, having slim and shapely ankles is often seen as a sign of beauty. Foot size. The foot size of a woman is an important aspect of her beauty. It is often the first thing that people notice about a woman's appearance. The foot size of a woman can influence her attractiveness and how she is perceived by others. The ideal foot size for a woman is considered to be between 6 and 12 inches. This range is based on the average foot size of women in the United States. Women with larger feet may be considered more attractive, but this is not always the case. Some men prefer women with smaller feet, as they are seen as being more delicate and feminine. For example, the foot size of a supermodel is often considered to be one of her best features. This is because a large foot size can make a woman look taller and more slender. Supermodels are known for their beautiful feet. Height. Traditionally, women are shorter than men. The average height of an American woman is about 5 feet 4 inches. But what if you're not average? What if you're taller or shorter than that? Is there an ideal height for a woman? The answer, it turns out, is yes. Studies have shown that the ideal height for a woman is 5 feet 6 inches. This height gives women the perfect proportions between their heads, body, and legs. It also makes them more attractive to men. Height showcases femininity and beauty, which is why the ideal height for a woman is 5 feet 6 inches. This height has been proven to be the most attractive to men, and it also gives women the perfect proportions. If you're not this height, don't worry. You can still be beautiful and attract men. Just remember that the ideal height for a woman is 5 feet 6 inches. Weight. Weight needs to be proportional to height. For example, a person who is 5 feet tall should weigh around 100 pounds. But, weight also needs to be in proportion to the frame size. A woman with a larger frame may weigh more and still be considered healthy. The ideal weight for a woman can vary depending on her height and frame size. However, there are some general guidelines that can help women determine if they are at a healthy weight. To find out what your ideal weight should be, you can use this calculator. Simply enter your height and frame size, and it will give you an estimate of what your ideal weight should be. It's important to remember that these numbers are just estimates and that everyone's body is different. Some women may be able to weigh more or less than the ideal weight and still be healthy. The best way to determine if you are at a healthy weight is to talk to your doctor. They can help you assess your weight and make recommendations about how to stay healthy. Waist to hip ratio. This measurement is important because of the figure it creates. The waist to hip ratio is a measure of the slimness of the waist in relation to the hips. A low waist to hip ratio indicates a slim waist and is often seen as attractive. There are different ideals for this measurement depending on where you are in the world. In Western cultures, a low waist to hip ratio is often seen as attractive. The ideal waist to hip ratio for a woman in the United States is 0.67. This means that the waist should be about 2/3 the size of the hips. There are other parts of the world where a different waist to hip ratio is seen as ideal. In some cultures, a larger waist to hip ratio is seen as more attractive. Bust size. The bust is usually the first thing that people notice about a woman. A well-endowed bust can make a woman feel confident and sexy. But what is the ideal bust size? There is no definitive answer to this question. Every woman is different, and what may be considered the ideal bust size for one woman may not be the same for another. It is important to find a bust size that is proportionate to your body type and makes you feel comfortable in your own skin. Shoulder width. Women tend to have more narrow shoulders than men, and the ideal shoulder width for a woman is 36 centimeters. This shoulder width creates an hourglass shape when combined with a narrow waist and fuller hips. The shoulders should also be in proportion to the rest of the body. If you have very wide shoulders, you may want to consider wearing pads or clothes that help balance out your proportions. For example, if you have wide shoulders and a small bust, you can wear a shirt with shoulder pads to even out your silhouette. If you have wide hips, wearing pants that are slightly flared can also help balance out your proportions. Ideal body measurements are hard to figure out because of the fact that people are built differently. However, these measurements are considered to be the standard among women. There are many factors that weigh in when it comes to this, and they must be considered. What's important is that everyone feels comfortable in their own bodies. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more.